it's the Cowboys. Let's talk about the Texas teams that you do follow. The AL West seems like nobody really wants it. The Astros came back against the Yankees last night. The Rangers were surging and have fallen off. The Mariners were, 6-14 in their last 20. What's going on, man? Two of these teams are probably going to make the playoffs, but they're going to limp all the way in.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think two of them are, because nobody else is really making a push either. Like the Royals, you thought maybe had a moment there where they might be getting hot.
Tampa's not that far.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa has that weird special sauce where they can roll off a 15-game winning streak using nothing but wizard powder and incantations. So maybe, but yeah, it's probably going to be one of those three teams winning the division. The Rangers have 3 against the Astros coming up this weekend. But you're right. None of us seem to want to win it. Both win positions. Actually, the Dodgers and Padres have been stumbling too. The Padres got swept by the Orioles. The Dodgers are facing home teams tonight. They might get swept by literally the Pittsburgh Pirates. So everything west of Mississippi is a disaster.
That's fine. Just coming back to the Rangers.
I guess it doesn't matter. That's all me coming out.
Yeah, that's what I was like. What do you mean?
It's weird because there's a lot of people.
Thanks for him to fucking
I mean, when you look at what they are doing right now, the fact that they're pretty banged up, how do you see this final month of the season shaping up here?
Honestly, so last Friday, I wrote in the lineup they're toast. Corey Seager's on the injured list. Marcus Semien is on the injured list. Nathan Eovaldi is on the injured list. Tyler Mahle was really good for the first half of the year. He's been on the injured list. Chris Martin, who just now came off the injured list. They're toast. They're done. And then they rattled off a 6-game winning streak. And within a game and a half of a wild card spot, they listed it. Nobody Garcia's now banged up. So, really, it's Cody Freeman. Just sort of, and Wyatt Langford, we know that name. He's been doing really well. But, Michael Hellman and guys like that are keeping this roster alive. So it really is sort of one of those, you went and busted the blackjack table and you put your final $5 down, and then now you're up $300. You're like, I might as well just put it sure, I've already lost this money anyway. Let's just play with house money and see. It feels like the pressure is a little bit off at this point, and so. Yeah, I mean, they lost 2-3 in Arizona. I don't think they are a playoff team. But if they somehow were to get Corey Seager back, if Nathan Eovaldi's shoulders just sort of happens to be such where he comes back in time for the playoffs and they get in, the rotation is still good. The bullpen's still good. The offense has been a mess. They don't strike me as a super dangerous team beyond the fact that their starting pitching has been pretty good.
Yeah, it's a fascinating. It's just the injuries are weird too. Marcus Semien's first time on the IL in forever. We got appendix.
Doesn't matter.
Floating.
Good now.
Outlet syndrome, which is a weird and scary one. It's a lot of odd stuff. So within the good run, maybe it ends up too short. Maybe they get in and they're wild card fodder because you don't think they're that good. There is one thing in their better play of late that I wonder how much you rate as an important factor moving forward, because this team's going to want to compete again next year. And Jack Leiter is a guy who has gone from looking cringy to a guy who, as the season's gone on, looks more and more like he belongs in that rotation, one of the best rotations in baseball. What have you seen from Leiter's progression over the course of the year?
Welcome, everybody.
Like and subscribe. This command wasn't great last night, but it's just been a matter of throwing more strikes. When he first came up, it seemed like he was too fine. I don't know if it's a mechanical issue or what. But his command was not great. He was walking way too many guys. He stopped doing that. And this stuff has always been good. He's always had that, hoppy fastball and getting good secondary stuff. So when you can command that and put it where he wants to put it, then he is a very good pitcher. I mean, we saw that when he was at Vanderbilt, that he was borderline untouchable at times in college. And I think, this is now the opinion of somebody who's not in the clubhouse that often, right? I used to talk to these guys all the time. Now I'm just sort of watching them most days. It strikes me as a situation where a guy came into the pros and thought, okay, now I have to be even better. And maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just good enough. Just command your stuff, throw it, your stuff is good. And it feels like he's sort of settled in, come to that place of realization of oh, no, I am good. I am a big leaguer. And it seems like he's way more relaxed
Yonder Valdez kids just say they're Salazar, and you're like, well, maybe the vibes are just a little bit off. What was your sort of take? What was your vantage point from that situation between pitcher and catcher there?
It's one of those things that happens that is so unbelievable. And for those who don't know, basically, bases are loaded. Trent Grisham is up. Trevor Valdez shakes his catcher off, and the catcher gives the step off signal. He's telling his Valdez step off. We need to get this straight. Make sure we throw the right pitch. Valdez basically goes, screw that. I'm throwing the pitch, and he starts his windups. The catcher settles in and catches the ball. Grisham hits a grand slam. Valdez is notoriously emotionally a bit volatile. During the next at bat, it appears that he crossed the catcher, and what that means is that he threw a pitch that the catcher wasn't expecting. This used to happen with a lot more. They had the machines, right? The pitch cones. It doesn't really happen that much anymore, where the catcher's expecting a pitch that's going to break towards his glove side, and instead he gets a straight fastball. So essentially, he loses his glove just in time for the fastball to hit him straight in the chest. It's so unbelievable that a pitcher would do that to his catcher on purpose. But right, that feels like a conspiracy theory. That feels like one of those things that Dale and White settle. It's like, he did that on purpose. Look at that thing. Oh, we did it on purpose. And everybody who knows the game goes, no. Listen, I understand what that was thinking. That was not on purpose. People who know the game are like, that looked like it was on purpose. That's the sort of thing that doesn't really happen that way. And, the catcher's expression on his face after as he's walking back towards the mound, the fact that they both got called into the manager's office afterwards to have a discussion, Joe Espada, at least, who is a big league manager, thought maybe there's something to it. All of the, Ken Rosenthal, Ken knows ball, and Ken was like, that looked on purpose. AJ Krasinski, I heard on Foul Territory, he's a former big league catcher, Eric Kraft, both of them were like, it was on purpose. That's wild. That is, I don't even know how to respond to that. It's so wild. So, yeah, maybe the vibes are not great in Houston right now. Spencer Arrighetti just went back on the injured list. They've had so many pitching injuries. Josh Hader is out right now. Two things that are in their benefit right now. One, the Mariners and the Rangers look like toast. Neither of those teams look like they're playoff teams. The Astros are probably going to make the playoffs, and maybe being in the playoffs changes everything vibes-wise. Although, by this point, maybe they're just so used to it that it hasn't. Two, Jordan Alvarez is back, and since he's been back, he's been averaging an exit velocity of over 100 miles an hour. He had 4 hits last night, scorched the ball every time. To get that guy back in the lineup, that does a lot to raise the field. So let's see what happens in Houston. It's going to be a very... there's no outcome this weekend that's going to surprise me. If the Astros sweep the Rangers, well, everybody's hurt, of course. If the Rangers sweep the Astros, it's going to be like, wow, they're really imploding. 2 games to 1, 2 games to the other. Anything can happen. It should be an interesting watch.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. My favorite sub-conspiracy, the Valdez thing, and I mentioned this earlier, is that Anthony Volpe not swinging at 93 down low is evidence the Yankees had hacked the line. But it's mostly just evidence that Anthony Volpe let 93 go down the middle. If it were in Yankee Stadium, I would hear the sub-conspiracy theory out a little bit more. That's a fun one too. But speaking of those Yankees, another pretty big series for playoff purposes this weekend is the Jays visit New York, and the Yankees have one more to get through against the Astros tonight. But man, the Jays will enter that series at least 3 games up on Boston and New York. What do you make of the AL East right now? A lot of Jays still play the Yankees and Red Sox. There's a lot of Orioles for all those teams in there. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting couple weeks.
Right. You like to think those Oriole games are gimmies, but hey, guess what? They just took the Padres, so who knows? This was in the lineup this morning, actually. The Jays' biggest lead in the division was July 26th. They were by 6.5 games. Since then, here are the records in the AL East. The Red Sox are 22-14. The Yankees are 21-14. The Jays are 18-17, which is not bad, but it's not, not great. It's not I think the way that I put it was that it's not a massive momentum shift, but it's not insignificant, right? That is, for me, the most interesting division in baseball right now. For good reasons. The West are in for other reasons. But yeah, before the season, I think the Red Sox won the division. Pretty quickly, I thought, wow, that would to get back. It's just been a godsend. They jettisoned Walker Buehler when things weren't working out. Peyton Foley seems like he's going to be all right. They've got a pretty good team. The Yankees, Mash, can't seem to pitch. They're both. Devin Williams. Lord, I feel so bad for that guy. He was so good in Milwaukee and just walked in the go-ahead run last night in Houston. They end up going down by 4 and then come back and lose by 1. Like, that's such a heartbreaking way to lose for the Yankees. And then the Blue Jays also mash. And also, their pitching hasn't been great in the second half, particularly the bullpen. Like, those are two, like, twin flames right now in the AL East. Since that July 26th, the starting point, the Jays have the best offensive baseball. So, I would love to see a lot of 15 to 12 games over the weekend, which means we're probably going to get a lot of 2-1 pitching, matchups. But it's in Yankee Stadium, ball goes. So let's see, but it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. I already made my pick for the season. I got to stick with the Red Sox just because I said it. But I genuinely would not be able to tell you who I think is going to win the division if I started right now.
Levi, you mentioned Roman Anthony's name. I believe it's 4 to 6 weeks that he's expected to miss. We don't really know what that means for October, but you said it. They're going to have to weather this storm, and he has been such a strong presence. How do you see the Red Sox maneuvering their way around this absence?
Good question. And I'm going to defer to Jim McCaffrey's story on that, which she is ensconced with our Red Sox writer. I mean, there's not a solution that I look at and go, oh, that totally makes sense. They're going to be able to overcome the absence from Anthony, right? Like, he loses our... That's rough. You're going to have to put the next man up mentality that you hear all the time in baseball clubhouses. But the answer is, like, whoever it is not going to be. It's not going to be Roman Anthony. So they're going to have to but who knows? Maybe they have their own little, Cody Freeman character lurking in the Red Sox clubhouse that's going to come up and account for that. But I do think of the three teams, the Red Sox probably had the best pitching. So that rely on that pitching. I'm changing this other slightly. Did you see a few days ago Buster Olney talking about the adjustments that Aroldis Chapman made this year?
No, not specifically. I saw the adjustment Aroldis Chapman made to never allow a run again.
Right. This blew my mind, right? So he's having a career year at 30, 11 years old, or however old he is. In spring training, his catcher, I think it was the young guy basket, said, hey, he called for a fastball like on the inside. Apparently, up to this point in Aroldis Chapman's career, catchers have just been like, fastball.
That was good,
And he's just
buddy.
like, I'm going to just throw the fastball. And that's what he did.
Yeah, not my first time, so.
And he was like, oh, I can aim for the inside corner. And so he started doing that, and now he's not walking guys. He's aiming for actual spots. Aim small, miss small, which you hear in,
the fun
I don't know,
is fucking
Little League. Apparently nobody had ever told him that before. He'd never tried that before, and now he's unhittable. It's like the most basic junior varsity adjustment that somebody can make, and apparently that's why he's so good this year.
While I understand that if you throw 100, you don't need to aim it that much. We've talked a lot about Bobby Barland's up and downs, and he goes at 900. Maybe you can just challenge guys down the middle with it. Yeah, tell a 37-year-old, hey, you can pick your spot a little bit. It's him just shrugging it off, being like, oh yeah, your pal, Tharis at The Athletic has his location plus metric, which is how, obviously we measure stuff in terms of the quality, the velocity, movement, and then location, the accuracy. Aroldis Chapman has gone from being like an average command guy to like one of the best command guys in all of baseball. Whichever catcher it was, co-reliever of the year, the new award, you got to give a little bit of it to whichever catcher that was. That's great. That's the catcher. Well, I would simply stop walking batters is like the most like sports radio call-in thing of all time, and it's actually what helped Aroldis Chapman have an ERA of 1. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is the most shocking story of the year for me. It's just, oh yeah, pick your spot.
Yeah, listen, 37-year-old Aroldis Chapman having a career year was surprising enough story. You add in that, and it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. The Boston Red Sox is going to
Yeah, Levi, we only have like 2 minutes with you left. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say somebody should suggest the entertain people.
Is that slurry?
If it's this simple,
down the middle and just hit it.
someone in
Yeah, that
spring training
is
just
slurry.
walk around complex to complex.
Here, give me a second.
And fix everyone with the most overly simplistic things. Okay, you mentioned
Consider.
yeah, you mentioned being Foley in there. He debuted the same night as Jonathan. Jonathan had a great start. The Mets are getting a crazy amount out of Nolan McLean. We only have like a minute and a half left with you, but Brandon Strokes on the way as well. The Mets just going to patch this together with young guys instead of Kodai Senga.
Maybe, because Senga hasn't been very good, and there's talk now that he may, that maybe an optional, and he doesn't have to accept the assignments to the minor league, but if that's going to get him sorted out for the playoffs, then maybe that's the solution. So, yeah, sure, why not? Bring up another, and the first two have gone great. Let's bring up another. And that would be, the Mets are the one team over the last decade just cannot be freaking normal, ever. They've been fairly normal this year. They've been holding it together, and I can just feel it. Like, I can feel it emanating from their innate desire. They're gonna blow up. They have to burst. And it has to be something weird good, weird bad. It could be weird good, and maybe this is that. Maybe they go into the playoffs, and their top three guys are just like 4 career starts.
If you've ever seen Ghostbusters when the subways of New York are filling with the pink goo and they're about to explode, I'm down there for Mets Rangers next Sunday. I'm expecting to get caught in the Mets weirdness goo explosion. Can't wait for that one. Levi, thanks for doing this with me.
Yeah, but I'll take it.
Levi Weaver of The Athletic, the wind-up newsletter in your inbox every morning from him and Ken Rosenthal. When I say that's such a trouble, I love watching what I think of pitch when he's good so much. This year, right, July 21st, and like running out of time here to figure it out for the Mets. Jonathan.
What is it? That's an offer for Rowan. If they end up...
He's got to buy it.
Yeah. Do you... Okay, still offer them.
I mean, otherwise you're not on the playoffs, so which is worse, which is less comfortable for you?
Is moving to the bullpen not an option?
I mean, I think it probably is, and like that's probably what his playoff role would be, but also like how much are you trusting Nolan McLean and Jonathan in a playoff series? Like Jonathan has one start, it was awesome. Nolan McLean has the best 4-game start Valenzuela, depending on which stat cutoff you use. So it's awesome, but yeah, I would love to see that ghost fork in some sort of way in the playoffs. Speaking of Jonathan, taking in on his first start, I can't give the Jays call up trade status. I have so much data ready because him and Jonathan are like quite similar in terms of like, I don't really get it, but the weird arm angle and the odd release point. I'm ready to go if you Savage gets the nod.
There was one point there when they were going back and forth with the strikeout totals in the minor
league and the weird release points, and we don't get arm angle data on minor league players, but you can see for Jonathan, he comes up and it's the highest arm angle registered baseball this year, and Nick Savage would have the highest release point registered in Major League Baseball this year. Anyway, that'll be fun. Nick Savage is probably not coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll set you up for the Jays Yankees series with the players who are there. Thank you to Shai Davidi, Levi Weaver, and Tyler Stewart of VNL for joining us. Thanks to Ahmed Mott, Andrew Adams, and David Smith behind the glass. Have a wonderful off day Thursday.
Your home for Blue Jays baseball. You got the Blue Jays 2 out top of the 4th pitch. Hit on the ground right side. Guerrero with a driving backhand stop. Wants to go there with the steal in hand. They got it. 960 The Fan. Hey Alberta, Shane here with Hope Street Property Management. Almost every day we hear from Hope Street satisfied armchair landlord clients. Ari writes, we heard horror stories about nightmare tenants, so we became armchair landlords with Hope Street, and things are awesome. Hope Street handles all the details and hassles. Highly recommended. Become an armchair landlord with Hope Street Property Management. Visit hopestreet.ca for your free online rental evaluation. Is your home ready for anything Mother Nature throws at it? Call the Heating Ninja, Calgary's Delphi's HVAC Pros. Right now, get our furnace and AC service at your Delph vessel. Improve your system, boost efficiency, and keep your home comfy year-round. Fast, friendly, no surprises. Book today.
Mark. From September 5th to 10th, get up to $900 off when you redeem up to 500,000 PC Optima points. Wow, that's a lot of free stuff, like beauty, everyday essentials, and anything that will make your day super. So don't miss the super redemption event only at Shoppers Drug Mart. Proudly Canadian owned and operated. Restrictions apply. Minimum spend required. Details in store.
At Fountain Tire, you can save $50 off tire storage with the purchase of 4 select tires now until September 30th at participating locations. Okay. Or you could squeeze them into your backseat, possibly causing upholstery damage, drive them home, struggle, sweating buckets, trying to get them out of your vehicle, resulting in you feeling guilty for not going to the gym more often. Or at all. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. It's totally up to you. Definitely $50 off the tire storage. You got it. Book your appointment today at FountainTire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada. Visions Electronics is celebrating the grand reopening of the newly renovated Visions Rangers location in Winnipeg. And we're celebrating across Canada with massive savings on all your favorite electronics, appliances, and more. Your lowest price is guaranteed. And no interest and no payments until 2027. Enter in-store for your chance to win a home theater system valued at $5,500. Visions Electronics grand reopening sale is on now. See all the deals in-store and at visions.ca. The Heartfit Clinic is here so you can be there for your family, loved ones, and goals. I'm Dr. Dennis Modry. I performed over 7,000 heart surgeries and transplants, and I want to help you avoid ever needing someone like me. Most heart disease is preventable, but too many people wait until it's too late. The Heartfit Clinic goes beyond cholesterol and stress tests and is the only clinic with accurate screening and proven treatments to prevent and even reverse heart disease. No Dr. Ringwell required.
Book your free consultation today at heartfit.ca.
Hospital Home Lottery, where luxury becomes your lifestyle. Win the $3.3 million grand prize show home at Bears Spa by Crystal Creek Homes, along with $100,000. Plus, you can win even more, like the $1 million Canmore condo in Spring Creek and the Mercedes and Volta bonus prize. More than just a ticket, it's a dancing care for better lives. Buy now at CalgaryHospitalHomeLottery.com. Lottery license number 737069. Must be 18 plus, please.
Wondering how to save on your Ozempic prescription? Now there's an Ozempic savings card. Visit Ozempic.ca to get yours today. Some restrictions apply. See Ozempic.ca for details.
When you choose Motorworks, you know you're getting the best service for your BMW. But did you know they also work on minis in their state-of-the-art facility? Always meeting or beating competitors' quotes. Motorworks, exceeding all expectations on 51st Ave and 3rd Street Southeast.
More advice isn't always better advice, especially when you're remodeling your home.
In Calgary alone, there are thousands of people who have an opinion about hardwood or laminate.
Ceramic or porcelain, trendy or classic.
So on and so on. So cut the noise and come to New Age Floors.
We give you real advice in a 15,000 square foot showroom full of options for any budget.
It's hard to get lost when you have knowledgeable professionals guiding you every step of the way.
New Way Floors and Interiors. We're evolving. Let's help you evolve too.
This is CFAC, Sportsnet 960 The Fan, broadcasting from the Groundwork Studio in downtown Calgary, the official home of the Calgary Blaze, a Rogers Sports and Media radio station. You're listening to Sportsnet Today with Logan Gordon on Sportsnet 960 The Fan. Sportsnet Today. Happy Thursday. Along with you in the Groundwork downtown studios. Groundwork's your local experts for foundation and crawl space repair. Thursday, September 4th edition of Sportsnet Today. And the official kickoff to another NFL season. It's the Cowboys and the Eagles on Thursday Night Football. We'll dive into that matchup with our first guest, Adnan Burke's going to join us to kick off the Thursday edition of the program. His Eagles looking for a Super Bowl defense. Kicking off week 1 against their division rivals. We'll talk about the Blue Jays picking up a series win against the Cincinnati Reds. Shane Bieber, aside from one inning, superb for the Toronto Blue Jays. So
camera gauges as we kick things off on this Thursday. Also, we try to get you the latest from McMahon Stadium. A short week for the Calgary Stampeders. They got the Labor Day rematch coming up on Saturday. Up in Edmonton, now 8-3 on the year, are the Calgary Stampeders, so we'll try to get you the latest from McMahon Stadium fans report. But timing will be key to see if we can do that with our pal Matty Rose on this Thursday. Also want to send a special happy birthday to Flames General Manager Craig Conroy on this Thursday, September 4th. Happy birthday to Connie and company. We're in the month of September. Rookie camp, training camp, soon to begin for the Calgary Flames. Busy season almost here on Sportsnet 960. The Fan. Monday night and moments are Thursday regular from MLB Network, NHL Network, Prime Monday Night Hockey, NHL, blah, blah, blah. But big focus of that today. Going to be on the NFL season opener. Thursday Night Football got the Eagles and the Cowboys. We've kind of been talking about the NFL for the last couple of weeks as training camps wrapped up. First week of the season, cuts have happened. How do we feel about the Eagles in terms of chances to repeat as Super Bowl champions? We've seen the Kansas City Chiefs go through a 6-7 year period of dominance with a lot of the same core hanging out. And the Eagles do the same with a pretty similar group. We'll talk a lot about that on today's edition of the program. And we welcome in our pal Adnan Murphy, author of Cinephile, available wherever you get your favorite books right now. Also, of course, from MLB Network, NHL Network, and Prime Monday Night Hockey. They're courtesy of our friends at Power Play. Perfect for date nights, family outings, or corporate events. Playtime at powerplay.ca. Mr. Coffee, how you doing?
Mulder, as always, buddy. Great to chat with you. It's so great the Eagles are back tonight. Go Birds. So thrilled like a part no longer there. When you said Chiefs for 7 years, I thought you were going to say, what if they get up to 6 or 7? Like, oh my God. That's just clairvoyant for Logan Gordon. I'd love to see the Chiefs suddenly. If they do what 6 or 7 years of job, it's probably more likely. But supposing it's straight with the NFL, I never know what can happen. Let's go.
Well, and I'm curious because, last time for the Eagles that they won a Super Bowl, it happened in a weird way, right? They all went to the whole situation coming in. There was a lot of changes year after year. A lot of the core guys that helped them win a Super Bowl are still there and still, a lot of the defense is still really young. I wonder if we could see an Eagles team, I don't know if it has dominant as last year, but continue to be a Super Bowl type contender.
No, it's a fabulous point. Like Jason Kelsey has made this point. He's talking the current Eagles, including Cooper DeJean. On his podcast, listen, our team, as you said, Wentz was top 3 MVP, went down, Foles caught lightning in a bottle, and we were able to win with an electric offensive performance. So the next year, they kind of reverted to form. This team, especially on offense, all the playmakers are back. There's no reason Saquon Barkley can't have another unbelievable year where he's running buckshot. Jalen Hurts continues his maturation as an excellent young quarterback who accepts a big touchdown in both Super Bowl appearances. We've got all the offensive line is still loaded. Obviously, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. So I just got offense. We're ready to rock. Defense, some moves have been made as far as the defensive line. Josh Sweat is in there. He's a key piece for them. It's a young secondary, but I'm with you. Like, when I heard young defense, I go, okay, that means they'll get better. I think that over an aging defense or an aging offensive core, I'm like, yeah, young can supposed to be unproven, but they get better. The Gene, Pringle, Mitchell, etc. We re-signed a better linebacker, Zach Bond, was so great. So you're right, it's definitely different vibe from everyone they went through. I can't wait for the game, but this right to feel confident. Like, no, we should be a really good team. I think we're in the mix. Like, lines are formidable. As you talked about last week, maybe the 49ers big push. Packers obviously making the trade for Parsons. But yeah, like, if you told me here's that we're talking, the Eagles go to the Super Bowl, I'm like, yeah, that's not a shock to me.
No, and it's interesting because it was for so long, we kind of seen like the Brady Patriots era that lasted for a while. We kind of came into the Chiefs. Like, it's not impossible if you keep the same core of people around to have consistent success in the NFL. And as I've mentioned to you a couple times, I'm just not enamored with many teams in the NFC period, let alone the division where Philly resides. Okay, Big Daniel and the Commanders look like they're finally figuring things out. Well,
I think that's really the key. I mean, as you mentioned, even within the division, maybe the Commanders would be a great challenge. But Danielson's so good, but sometimes young quarterbacks progress as well, right? When they have a great season, like, oh, next year's sophomore thing, defense is adjusted. That happens too. I mean, how many years have you been waiting for Trevor Lawrence for the next big thing? Like, I remember when he went to college, coming college football, he used to have time. And Trevor Lawrence has been a subpar average quarterback so far in the NFL. So I'm with you. I think Danielson's done and should continue to be so. But
Thanks for
no
watching
guarantee, always over
Calgary
unpredictability.
here.
At the bare minimum for every one of our
Boss, one of them. Putting it back where it was and eyeballed it. No, I'm just kidding. Leave it there. Is that ours?
I don't know why Gary is any different. I think there's like that locker room has to be a nightmare right now, right? Like I'm just so shocked that it happened. Like every single time star player demands he wants out, ownership says we're not paying, etc. Eventually they figure it out. Like there's a number you need.
How many people don't signal?
Like I'm still with you that I'm like, how could you trade a guy who is such an
Just
enormous
hang
talent
this
like
T
that?
intersection on
Such a
the drive.
colossal failure on your part, right? Like what is the hardest thing to do? Is to scout and draft talented players. Once you get them, it's a loss. You know, I was wrong. I'm
There's no way
I
you need to.
redrafted him in the second round. Like, wow,
No
that's
way
a
to be
good
on that side?
Wildcat quarterback. He's a backup. The Carson Wentz, the Wentz are out. And he couldn't have more wrong. How he rose to build because his son.
I better wait for no better.
The guy's unbelievable. Like if you can make those kind of picks, you're like that's what makes you successful. And remember that part of when he becomes like a generational player.
How the fuck would you make it right in front of me though?
And you're just gonna trade him because you owe his money? Like, dude, that's pretty embarrassing, I think. I don't know this about you, but I'll ask. Are you a red zone guy?
Doesn't make any sense at all.
Great question. I was talking about this all, but I fans in Toronto and the fans today. I'm not. And part of the reason is like I just want to watch my team. So I went to the Eagles. Now, the Eagles are playing. As you know, it's playing time. So it's Sunday. And then when it goes pretty much so crazy, I'm like, do I carry back? So I couldn't join. I like it to see it. Like, the problem is it's too much for me
Logan, out of context. Like a baseball game last night, we have something called Big In and Emily Network. It's a score box on TV. So to me, I'm like, no, I can follow this because then very quickly we'll go to one game like audio one. Oh, damn it.
Man, how's everybody doing?
Or go to Alvarez and stuff. Baseball
Hey, Sonny, Steve, hey, Sullivan, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Oh, shit. cloudy.
You get pitched on pitch. Happened last every day. So I would do it.
Want to have it.
Does that if it's Diaz behind the plate and not their third catch, like if they're starting guy, he does that or no?
Well, that's a great point. Like I think it is. Like the Diaz is there. The other Diaz is just not going to show up. I think even if it was a noisy, private conversation, we'll figure it out. I think clearly he was kept and so excited because they're very catcher. We're going to the guys. You guys are on the same pitch.
Yeah, the video I thought was just, I think Framber Valdez did him dirty, but I also think if you're Salazar, you're not really anybody on the Astros. You're a 29-year-old third-string catcher. I hate it. Like, I think Valdez is a baby about it. You see the bad pitch. He stepped off when the catcher told you to. But what, Cesar Salazar is not going to
Must be time to move.
Framber Valdez in anything doing with the Astros. So, but if I was somebody, if I was another catcher, I was Yonder Diaz. I'd be
Yep.
saying
And
something
back to
like,
Silverado?
like, we don't, that's, you
Okay.
can't be doing that. It's just such a bad look for that.
And this job is all the fucking room in the world. Oh, my truck driver's not hooked to his fucking trailer. What the fuck? Lunchtime for me. This shit was on, I guess. This don't make no sense. We sent him here like 45 minutes ago.
Good movie, 3.5 stars.
Yeah, that's a strong review. I mean, that's a great father and son story. Love Academy, of course. And a great song to have that movie, which, of course, they worked with Spike and do the right thing. Spike's Power. How about the last team there was supposed to be in that showdown? Jesus Shuller was going to win 11-0. Denzel, Evan Callaway, you know, he played JV basketball or PG Coastal years ago, so Denzel hit him.
Well, guys,
Take a last play issue. Apparently for weeks.
guess we're gonna take a break now. Time to move to the next job, so I'll be back in a little while. Like and subscribe, guys. Hey, Sterling. I'm just moving to a new job, so stop by later.